Today's Morphin Network video is brought to you by Karson's Korner. Karson's Korner is a black LGBTQ owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises. These franchises include King of the Hill, Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, and of course, most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at www.carsonscorner.com.
So, Mr. Beckwith, how are you, sir?
Doing well, man. And you?
Doing well. How's life there in Australia?
Free.
Care to explain? Well,
Yeah, we can leave the house. We can leave the house and be not breaking any rules.
Awesome.
You seem to have recovered from that explosion.
Yeah, they put me back together pretty quickly.
Yeah. So, how's it like being reincarnated to an actually human boy?
You know how many times I've watched myself explode?
Oh, we do. So, hello everyone. Welcome to a new interview of the Morphin Network. We have here a very special guest today. We have here Nick Beckwith. You guys remember him? He was the robot Aiden from Power Rangers Ninja Steel. Basically, he was fake Aiden. You know, he was supposed to be a Gold Ranger, the Red Ranger's brother, but technically he was a robot from Adam ODS, one of the main villains in Ninja Steel. And yeah, he was actually, believe it or not, Nick, you were actually requested a lot. So yes, I did bring it up. I got him. It did take me 2 years and some research, but yeah. So Nick, again, thank you for being here and being a special guest.
No worries.
Yes. So yeah, let's get the interview started. So Nick, how did you start with acting?
That was a good question. I realized I wanted to be an actor when I was about 11 years old. I did like a school musical. It was like an intermediate school, so it was like 11 and 12-year-olds. And they put me on stage in like a green skirt, and my character's name was Moonchi. I was playing like this like caveman, but I was this guy that got a solo song. So I was an 11-year-old singing, and usually in those sorts of things, it was all like the older kids. They got to do all of the like main characters, but I don't know, they put me as a main character and I was stoked. So I was the only 11-year-old to do that. And the song that I got to sing was called I Want to Be a Movie Star. It was quite funny. And I was like, yeah, man, this is really fun. This is a rush. So I was like, I want to do theater. That's what I wanted to do from that.
Okay.
So like 11.
Nice. So you pursued it at a young age. Right on.
Very young, yeah.
Nice.
But it's cool though. I mean, you followed your passion, and yeah, look what happened.
Did, yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Follow your dreams, guys. Follow your dreams.
What was the audition process like for Power Rangers?
It was actually quite awesome. Like the Power Rangers, I had auditioned actually for Power Rangers a fair few times. Obviously, being in New Zealand and filming in New Zealand, they look for Kiwi actors quite often, especially to fill like the smaller roles and stuff. But I was actually living in LA when I first auditioned for Power Rangers, and I auditioned for a Ranger, and then I auditioned for a Ranger again, and then I auditioned for a Ranger again, and then after I left LA and I had been in Sydney for I want to say like maybe a month and a half to 2 months, I auditioned for a character that they didn't really tell me anything about them. I was assuming it wasn't a Ranger, but it had interactions with Rangers. And so I was like, I don't know, this sounds kind of like almost cooler than like, it felt very secretive. So I was like, pretty excited. At this stage, it was all like self-tapes. So yeah, I was just sort of like given the script and I would, do it all from home. There was a couple of like martial arts sequences to do, and which, being someone who does not do martial arts, I can do weapon stuff, but I've never done hand-to-hand combat. So it was kind of a new thing for me. Sent it off, and then like yeah, but before I knew it, my agent was like, "Hey, you're on hold. It's between you and one other guy for this role." The name was different for this character. The everything. And when I got it like literally wasn't until like maybe a week or 2 weeks before filming that I kind of got to actually find out exactly who I was playing, because it was so secretive. Didn't want anyone to find out who I was or what I was doing. So like when I posted on social media for the first time that I was like, the reason I was in New Zealand was that I was filming Power Rangers, there were a bunch of people who were like, "Oh my god, Gold Ranger!" And I was like, "Oh god, here we go." Yeah.
I mean, heck, you technically were almost a Power Ranger. So...
I mean, technically the Gold Ranger is Aiden, and my character is called Aiden, so I'll take it.
You know what's cool? I know you watch a Sentai, so in the Sentai, the Gold Ranger actually was not evil, but he did fight the Rangers. He wanted to kill the Rangers to show his word. So it kind of be cool if he actually did that. Like, you be an evil version of your bro. That would be cool.
That would have been cool, but I would have had to have had the star at some point, right? Like I would have had to have been able to use the star for one, and I would have had to have had it. Which I think is like the one thing that I didn't really have.
Maybe Sorry.
No, you're good.
Maybe Odious could have tapped into it and given you a fake suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, engineered something. That would have been cool. I mean, she put me together. Surely she could, do some sewing, make herself a nice little set of spandex for me.
Minor question about that, right quick. Was just something I've always wondered. Was the person inside Odious's costume actually a woman or a guy? I just, since Odious is a female, was she?
On the day, I believe it was stunty stuff. I can't remember exactly who it was, because honestly, they step onto the set and they're already in their full getup, and because it's all voiceover, all they're really doing is they get someone to do the lines off screen, and they do all of the sort of action. So I literally wouldn't be able to tell you who it was exactly that I was interacting with most of the time. Yeah.
Interesting.
I would say it's most likely a male, but I'm unsure exactly. Yeah. Most of the stunties were guys.
Interesting. Okay. So, of course, you did work on Power Rangers. Now, can you tell us what was your experience on set on Power Rangers?
It was surreal. It was like one of the first things that I things that I'd had to travel for to work, which was really exciting. And it's like one of those things where if you're working locally, it's like you're still at home. Whereas when you go somewhere else, you are living in a different place. Even though it was New Zealand, like I was in Sydney at the time, so I was going back to Auckland to film something. It was exciting to have like a trailer where I could like just sort of chill out and like go through lines and do character stuff. And everybody, like there wasn't one person in that production at all that was like a bad time. Like every single person was so cool to interact with. Like we all got on really, really well. Like any of the sort of animosity that you saw on screen was like purely fabricated. We all got on so well.
Did you actually get to step foot on the command center set? Like, Nick made sure you didn't actually go in there, but did you ever get to see the blue room for yourself?
I'm wondering if that was maybe like the same set they used for, because obviously they hadn't done a lot of the stuff yet by the time I was filming, but they did move a lot of the stuff around for the scene where I'm in the room with Odious, where I'm getting transferred memories. So that room, I have a feeling might have been set-wise connected to the blue room. So I would have been walking around all of that as well. Yeah. Which is also where I used to enjoy hanging out, because they're right connected to that with the corridors with the sort of like big archways of light from the game show. Yeah. Which was really cool. That was a really, really cool part of the set. I love the sci-fi stuff.
On that On that note, were there any fun behind-the-scenes stories from the show?
Boy, I should have thought about that before. Damn, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Like there was just so much goofing around like all the time. Like that's literally like I can't pick a specific moment, but scenes where like it was obviously all the chocolate statue stuff was going on at the same time, which was quite hilarious.
I remember that.
And so like there's that scene where Victor is completely encased in chocolate. So he was like the statue, one of him, and then the other one of him as well. And it was just sort of hilarious. At that moment, we were all just sort of like standing there, like watching this thing, and then they'll cut, and he'd sort of be like unable to do anything. He's sort of like encased in this sort of like plasticky chocolate stuff. It was quite funny. But apart from that, honestly, we were just sort of like a great group of mates, just all bantering and stuff. As soon as the cameras were cut.
Come on, no dirt behind the scenes. The Ninja Steel cast is like the world's nicest group of Power Ranger team.
They literally are, and I can't fault them. Like there's no dirt. Like they're all so wholesome. Like every time, like my first time meeting them, they were in the middle of when I first arrived at the studio, and they were like, "Come, we'll introduce you to the Rangers."
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really know like what I was walking into, but I went into the studio, and they were busy filming a scene in the not in the garage, but in the like workshop that they keep all the Ninja Steel stuff. And it was like they were doing a scene over and over, trying to get something right that they weren't like quite getting right. And I was watching from the outside, like, oh my god, this is wild. Like I'm watching. Like, I mean, anybody would have that sort of reaction, right? You're watching people in Power Rangers costumes talking to each other and arguing with each other in real life right in front of you, which is awesome. And then they got what they needed from the scene, and they all sort of came over and they introduced me, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so surreal. Like, I'm shaking hands and like getting to know like 5 people that when I was a kid, like these are like, you know, heroes. So yeah. Super surreal, but you're right, there's like no dirt. They're a bunch of the nicest, like kindest people ever. Yeah.
It's funny you say that, Nick, because when the Ninja Steel cast at Morphicon were announced at the 2016 Morphicon, I actually, got to shake their hands as they walked off stage, and it was kind of similar to what you were talking about, very surreal seeing the next generation in their full costumes. So
yes.
Was that specifically the Yoshi Peter announcement?
Yep, that was it.
I've watched that so many times on YouTube, man. It is
surreal.
Oh my goodness, it's so emotional. Yeah, it's awesome.
Especially story going behind that. I mean, damn, that was really.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was like completely concealed from Yoshi the whole time, which is so exciting. And Peter and I are pretty close, so like I feel like at that point, like I felt really close to him when I first saw that as well. Yeah, it was awesome.
Going to the next question. So of course you were technically supposed to be, well, not supposed to be, but you were technically the evil Gold Ranger. Well, gold evil, Robo Aiden. Was there any ever discussions of where your character could be further explored or elaborate in Ninja Steel?
As in like post me exploding?
Yeah, like post me exploding, or you, let's say, surviving.
Or maybe say your character would have gone in a different direction. Like
like a what if, like a Marvel what if, like what if.
Gotcha.
Like discussion, yeah.
Obviously not officially, I don't think. I think my role the whole time was sort of to aid the sort of secrecy of who Levi was, and then to expose who he really was at the right time. I think that was sort of like my character's main reason for being on the show. I don't think that there was a lot of thought about what he could be afterwards, but again, I wasn't sort of like privy to that sort of information. Obviously, we all bounced around ideas of like what it would be like if they, if Mick put me back together and, I became buddies with Redbot and we could be robot buddies together. And Like it would be cool if I was just hanging around as well, but obviously that's not. I think once someone's evil on Power Rangers as well, like purely evil, it's hard to sort of do a 180 and make them a good guy again.
Can't we just call Robot Aiden what he really is? A male Finbot? Like Vanessa.
I didn't have guns coming out of my pectoral muscles, but he was a little bit of that for sure.
Dang. Blood can now. Everyone's gonna imagine Nick male Finbot. So again, we're sorry, but it shows up in your Twitch comments. I'm sorry, man.
Fembot cosplay win, yeah.
In the Super Sentai, like there was scenes where the Gold Ranger wanted to kill the Power Rangers, so that'd been kind of cool. You know, like you in the suit trying to kill them because it shows they're evil. Because again, like I don't know. Like, when we were reviewing Ninja Steel, we were hoping for an evil Gold Ranger. Because, like, oh, shoot, because in the Sentai, oh, shoot, looks cool. Those fight scenes. Like, we were kind of disappointed. Like, there was no, like, the evil side. Or they didn't show scenes of them fighting.
I think they actively do try and sort of change the story a little bit so that it doesn't... So people aren't so easily guessing what's going to happen. And I think that whole secrecy thing is, like... I mean, obviously, it's a big thing now in movies and stuff to have everything be very secretive and have twists and turns that people didn't see coming. But I think Power Rangers has kind of always had that, like, to not sort of, like, be obvious about what's going to come and hope to give people a bit of a shock. And obviously, if the Gold Ranger was sort of had, like, an evil streak in the Japanese one, then maybe the American version, they obviously sort of stray from that and try and make it so that people weren't going to guess what's going to happen, which I think was the case until Spain aired that episode.
Yeah, they it's still leaking. That's why now Dino Fury Season 2 is going to be in Netflix all Season 2. So good move by the way.
That's exciting. That's really exciting for the Power Rangers nation.
Yeah.
So you kind of answered question 6. You know, what Robot Aiden would do, like if he was brought back or something. I guess maybe another question we could ask is, would you come back for another season and maybe either be another side character or maybe even be an official ranger, you know, because they've done that before, you know, Kelston Henderson obviously, and Holly, and I think several other actors have had other roles.
I mean, Kelston's had quite the run, hasn't he? He's managed to be a ranger twice now.
Yeah, he's still
kind of. For myself, honestly, like, yeah, I'd absolutely be open to coming back and playing another character on Power Rangers. I think being a ranger is slightly getting away from my age bracket, but I love playing a villain. I think that I would love to do like another villain role. Just I think it's really exciting and slightly different. But yeah, no, I mean, there's one of those things. Like, I feel like if the right role was there for me, absolutely, I'd come back.
Nice. And again, hey, like everyone can be a ranger. Like again, with age, like heck, in Dino Charge, you had a purple ranger. It was like, well, I would say his age, but let's just say he was over 60.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, and I think the current Red Ranger's in his 30s. I don't know, but yeah. So of course, now going away from Power Rangers a bit. So you did kind of work on one of my favorite shows when I was kind of growing up. It's called Major Crimes. What was I working on that show? Yeah.
Yeah. That was a really, really like, again, like I feel like every sort of show that you ever do is surreal, because you as an actor, you're auditioning for things all the time and you're constantly being told no. So to be told yes and to go onto set and everything, like you're trying to take it all in and be like as excited as possible for everything. Major Crimes was one of those ones that I remember I stepped on set and thought, man, this show, like Power Rangers, has been going on for a very long time. And all of the people associated with the show are like very well known and well respected in this particular sort of genre of TV show. I had a very, very small role of being like one of the best mates of the guy. So the actor's name was Leo Howard, who played. I believe he was young Conan the Barbarian in that movie. But he was like the main, and then there were three of us who were like his mates that he took to Tijuana on a drunken escapade, and then obviously he got caught up in some sort of drama, and we were all sort of a part of it. But literally, my whole role in that was essentially to be sitting in the questioning room, sort of sobering up, and that was like the whole thing. But it was really, really cool to see that really perfectly created, slick show. The camera team, all the behind the scenes crew were obviously they've been doing this for years and years and years as well. So everything was super quick. All the actors and everything, they hit marks and they did this and they did that. And, it was one of those shows that, again, I was only on there for a day, and it was like a whirlwind, but such a cool experience.
And I love the show really a lot. I still kind of do watch it, so from time to time.
Cool.
Ken?
Okay, so you're known for doing a lot of short films. Is there one that stands out in particular?
I think the short that I did in LA, there are two that I did in LA that were really, really exciting. Robot Club was awesome, where I got to play a robot. Again, I feel like I'm starting to get typecast. And American Male was a really, really cool one as well, which was sort of a little bit more serious and took a bit more of a political look at what it's like to be what toxic masculinity is, and how that's sort of perpetuated and how that grows in this society of American college, what are they called, for fraternities,
yeah.
And the hazing, and men can't wear bright colors, they're only allowed to wear black and dark blue and all of that kind of stuff. So that was a really, really interesting one to be a part of, because the idea behind it was quite interesting and quite thought-provoking. And then Robot Club, which was just a heck of a lot of fun. I met some really cool actors on that, and obviously I was painted silver completely from, well, my everything was silver. They glued my eyebrows backwards and painted them silver, and I was a little bit more on the Jarvis side of robot than than the robot that I play in Power Rangers. So it was a bit more stiff and greetings, hello, that kind of sort of feeling. But that one was so much fun, where I essentially play a robot who's drunkenly stolen his robot father's spaceship, crash landed in a garage that I detected had repair parts, and I sort of create this relationship with these three real nerdy kids who are super into Star Wars and stuff. So they're trying to be really brave when they come and see me out crashed into the back of their garage, but they're all terrified because they're actually sort of kind of real shy on the inside. But yeah, it was a really, really cool short to be a part of as well.
Okay. Oh shoot, I'm actually looking at that right now. So dude, so Robot Club, yeah, it's actually filmed at my school.
Really?
Yeah, it says here, the poster, it has the main logo. So cool, you're actually part of a project for my school. So hey.
Hi.
Yeah. It says here. I'm looking at this poster right now. I can't get it right now. I had a screenshot, but it says here in the poster for Robot Club that it was filmed for CSUN. So
that's so dope. Yeah. And it was so much fun, and obviously the people who are working on it were really, really passionate as well. And if you ever do get to see it, make sure that you watch the credits, because it was essentially a blooper that they turned into a dance sequence, and it's very funny.
So again, we have two more questions before the fans. Now, do you have any advice to any aspiring actors or actresses that want to be in the entertainment industry?
Yeah. This is always a tough question, because obviously things have changed a lot since I first sort of got an agent and all of that kind of stuff. Obviously, I also went through drama school, which is sort of helped pave the way for me finding those sorts of opportunities, i.e. to get an agent. And that should be sort of like on the forefront of anyone's mind leaving high school, or even in high school. If you are looking to be an actor, having an agent is like your first point of call, because you aren't going to really find much work without someone who's looking for the work for you. Apart from that, getting one is the hard part, and you'll want to have something to show them. But in the era that we live in, with YouTube and mobile phones that are 100 times more powerful than any camera that you could buy from a camera store 15 years ago, write your own little shorts, make them on your phones. Like the new iPhone 13 apparently is like insane for like, it has like different focal lengths and stuff like that. So you can become a blooming cinematographer with one of those. But make your own work, write your own work, film your own work, even if it never sees the light of day. It's like, I saw this really good quote where your first of anything will probably be bad, but you can't get to making the 100 without making the first. So you just have to start as soon as possible, because you're not going to get better at it if you don't try it. Yeah.
Very good advice.
Very good advice, and touche. Kent, last question.
So do you have any upcoming projects you'd like to share with everyone?
Being that we're just out of lockdown, auditions have obviously been super quiet. We're sort of starting to pick things back up in Australia now, but it's still quiet. And obviously restrictions are still pretty heavy. So nothing on the cards at the moment. Still auditioning for things when they pop up, but as I said, it's very quiet at the moment. Apart from that, though, I do stream on Twitch 4 days a week, which is sort of like my passion and hobby at the moment, all rolled into one. Yeah.
Twitch streamer. Okay. Before we go forward, what games are you currently playing in Twitch?
I'll give you the list of the last 12 months.
Okay, go ahead.
So I used to stream basically only World of Warcraft and Heroes of the Storm. Those two games are like my two favorite. I mean, World of Warcraft still is. I just don't play it currently. I then found Dead by Daylight. I don't know if anyone of you guys have seen Dead by Daylight or watched anyone playing Dead by Daylight. It's like a killer versus 4 survivors, and you have to survivors have to try and get out before the killer kills them all. Very, very exciting competitive game that I streamed for, I want to say like sort of 7 or 8 months. It's very, very fun, especially if you're playing it with friends. You hear them screaming a lot. Then Pokemon Unite came out, and I no-lifed that until I hit Master Rank, and it was just an absolute blast. Pokemon is like a huge love of mine. So I think that more Pokemon games of different genres is needed, and a MOBA has been long overdue. I'm a huge fan of MOBAs. I'm a huge fan of Pokemon. Sort of like was a natural fit for me. And recently, for the last month or so, I've been playing Genshin Impact, which has taken over my life. I can't stop thinking about Genshin Impact. Yeah, it's such a good game. So the stories are insane. It was so well written. Characters so lovable or hateable, depending on what you like. But yeah, Genshin has been an awesome game to play.
Before we go to favorite questions, since you're a Pokemon fan, I must ask, what team are you? Mystic, Valor, or Instinct?
When I played Pokemon Go, which I haven't played it for a little while now, I reckon I sort of definitely was hardcore on that for at least 2 years. Valor.
Screw it, I'm out.
Mystic for life. I knew it was gonna come between us, Nick. I knew it.
Yeah, it was one of those things that like it was literally just as I'd gotten home from living in LA, when Pokemon Go was released. So I was at home in my hometown, visiting all these like awesome places that I've grown up around, like going to the train station, like the big like train station statues, other like big beautiful churches and stuff, and catching Pokemon at them. Surreal experience. But like all the friends that I was playing it with got to choose their thing before I did, so I just followed along. If I was going to choose again, I'd probably choose yellow. I'd probably choose Spark.
I think okay. Well, that's respectable. Okay. All right, guys. So we have now the viewers' questions. So thank you for standing by. So Nick, are you ready to say hi to the viewers? Well, comments.
Hey.
Questions.
Thank you. Hi. Welcome.
So Paramis Massacre says greetings from Mumbai, India. Hello, Mumbai.
Yo, what's up, Mumbai?
And Aaron Gill's asking, hey Nick, how long did it take to shoot all your scenes? Greetings from Argentina.
So I was on set for about a month and a bit, just over a month. So long enough to make solid friendships, and not long enough to get to enjoy those friendships. But obviously I've stayed in touch with a lot of them as well, so it's been really cool. But yeah, just over a month of getting my hair floofy and getting the crap beaten out of me by the Power Rangers.
So you didn't get to like come in and see, like you didn't get to visit the set like when the Legendary Rangers were there?
No, I was back here in Sydney at that point, so I as much as I would have loved to have gone out and hung out on set during those days, and obviously the creators always said if you're in Auckland at any point and you want to come say hi or come check out the set and catch some filming, like send us a message, we'll try and sort something out. But yeah, no, that would have been a really, really cool day to be on set, huh?
Yeah, because Yoshi was there too, so yeah. Yeah, like Yoshi, Peter, the bros.
Yeah.
So
It would have been good to have met Yoshi. I swear, we've been like ships in the night for the longest time. And obviously I hung out with Peter a lot, as we're into sort of the same things. We talked about, video games a lot and Pokemon.
Maybe you can come back for the 2020 Morphicon.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, if things open up and are all good, then that would be a really fun idea. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can actually meet your family.
Yeah, right.
Paramis is asking, what color would you be? Besides, what color would you be?
Ooh, what color ranger? I mean, I grew up the same way as a lot of kids, loving the Green Ranger from Mighty Morphin. Green's always been my favorite color, but if I was to choose a color ranger to be, I would say orange.
Orange.
I would. I'm one of those people that, to take it to Pokemon again. when people are choosing their favorite Pokemon, I'm always the one who choose the least popular Pokemon to try and make them cool or good. And I feel like I would like to be a color ranger that has been done in the past, but hasn't been done very often. And so I would be, I would love to be an orange ranger. Is that from Rangers in Space?
No, that's Tokuger. So the train Sentai that they did not adapt.
But they brought.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
But they actually brought Cosmo Royale, one of the villains for your season. He's actually a villain from Tokuger.
True.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
he was not from your Sentai. He was actually from another season.
Awesome. I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah. So I think I'd want to be a ranger that's not. I wouldn't want to be, black, white, pink, green, red. I mean, being a red ranger would be dope, but yeah, I think orange would be a fun flavor.
So you did like the original green. Dang, only you stayed at because like JDF was at your season 2. So hey, you never know. Maybe in a future con.
Maybe.
Yes. You kind of already answered this, but you want to elaborate. How was your experience with the cast members?
Oh yeah, amazing. As mentioned, they're just all a bunch of the nicest people. I feel like I hung out with Will, Peter, and Geordie probably the most. They were all sort of like around when I was. I got along really well with Nico as well. Nico was really, really cool. He actually talked to my mum on FaceTime at one point when I was talking to her in my in my trailer, and he like busted in and was singing. And I was like, "Hey, say hi to my mum." That was pretty funny. But yeah, I was I got on really, really well with like Will. Like I remember we spent hours at a coffee shop talking about music that we love and all of that kind of stuff. I went to the movies a bunch with Geordie. Like my experience with all of the cast was out of this world. They're all so nice. Yeah.
Will's really cool. I've like I said, I've ran into him a few times, and he's just like the chillest dude ever. Such a cool dude.
Yeah, I love Will. Without his recommendation, I could not have found you. So thank your fake bro.
Yeah, thanks, Will.
Oh, you Will. Let's see. Okay. Favorite sports team. Do you like sports?
Favorite sports team? Oh man, that's an interesting one. I'm gonna say All Blacks. I'm a rugby fan. Being from New Zealand, it's kind of inbuilt. If I was to say a sport that's a little bit more America-centric, I would say I wear clothing the most from Dodgers because I have a lot of LA hats.
Let's go!
I went to one game while I lived in LA. So, and if I was to say NBA, I would say it would probably be the Lakers because, I mean, they're the GOAT. You know, I followed them probably the most over the last sort of 15 years, and I got to see them Lakers versus the Clippers just before I left LA as well, which was phenomenal. And that was one of Kobe's one of his last games, so that was pretty awesome as well.
Yeah, I mean,
he got to meet Kobe.
Yeah, I got to meet Kobe.
Dude, amazing.
I got to meet Kobe. Like he is a very kind guy. Like he took.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Very humble. Like seeing him was like okay, because I do work and I see a lot like special people, like but seeing him like oh my god, like very humble, very generous. He signed my book for free. I'm like oh shoot, and then very humble dude. Like it was like very magical seeing him.
Yeah.
So.
I think a lot of guys who sort of are in that sort of space where they compete competitively on a world scale, they have the persona that they are on the court, where they have to be ruthless and obviously top of their game, and then the moment they're in a sort of more personal sort of casual space, they get to flip and be that really, really cool down to earth human being that they don't get to show so much on the court.
I know, because like I thought he was gonna be intimidating. He's like, oh crap. I mean, I do love the guy, but he might be. He's like, he's like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? You doing well? How you doing, son? And it's like, oh my god, you're so alright.
He's like, hey, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
Okay, so funny story. So when I got his, his picture photo op, I asked for a hug. He's like, oh, that's a good hug. So I accidentally hugged his butt by accident. Yeah, he got tall. So I was like, I love you. Like,
I'm sure so many people do that. I love you,
and then like, oh shit, I'm touching your butt.
With all like, basketball players, yeah.
Let's see. But yeah, I'm a huge Laker fan too, so born and raised in LA, and the Dodgers, unfortunately, did lose yesterday, but heck, better luck next year. So, go Braves. Just kidding. Let's go. Let's see. Good one. Did you watch Power Rangers growing up? Well, you kind of didn't answer that,
but... It was yes and no. Like, I never sort of, like, sat down and watched Power Rangers every single day like I did with other shows. I was a fan of Mighty Morphin when I was younger, and that would have been reruns, because that was on, like, when I was quite young. And obviously I've caught this and that over the years from, I think I remember watching a little bit of, would have been like Power Rangers Samurai,
Oh, okay.
I think, and Ninja Storm. I think
Oh.
was the other one, yeah. But I wouldn't say that I was someone who like sort of sat down and got really excited about every episode as they came along. I was too busy watching Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, and Yu-Gi-Oh. So, those are the ones that I sat, got up at 6:30 in the morning or came home quickly from school to watch.
So funny you've seen Ninja Storm. Ninja Storm was like the first season that was filmed there in New Zealand too.
For real, yeah, and that was Kiwi Red Ranger too, right?
Yeah, rest in peace, Kua. So yeah,
Yeah, man.
I think.
What a great actor as well. He was a absolute staple on New Zealand screens for years and years on a show called Shorten Street. So, yeah, he was not only embedded in the world's hearts from Power Rangers, but he was like one of New Zealand's favorites. So.
I do love Shorten Street. I did grow up watching Shorten Street. So what's funny is like,
Real.
so we did a lot of past interviews with the Power Ranger voice actors, and of course we were in Shorties, and it was funny. We made a joke or like we legit could make a Shorties reunion or Shorties panel, like my editor said. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And he kept asking me, he's like, "Wait, you watch Shorties in America?" I was like, "Yeah." When I was a kid, it was,
Yeah, that surprises me. I feel like New Zealand, and then like there's like one channel in the UK that has Shorten Street on, I think. But yeah, that does surprise me that you were watching it from the States.
Yes. Let's see. Can you get the comments? No. You are. He is.
Too handsome to be a villain. Well, I don't know about that. I feel like the way I was on the show, getting spray tanned and my hair being kind of like was kind of I don't know. But thank you. The best villains are the people who don't look like them, right? So.
Actually, I do have pictures. Well, I do have some photos from you when that spray tan, or an all from show. So, how were you rebuilt?
Oh wow, there goes the eyes. Look at them.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Nice, sexy ass red eyes. Just kidding.
Hey,
Oh, man,
you're a fin bot or male bot.
I think that I had the best costume on the whole show, though. Even though they get to wear the Rangers stuff, I had the most comfortable clothing. I didn't have to have anything tight in any area. I fell in love with these Nike pants, which I wear to this day. The Nike Tech Fleece pants that they put me in on for the training scene. I wear them pretty much every day of my life now since that particular day. I was so comfortable all the time, and I'd always look at them, and they had their like big shoulder pads for the training suits. And I just see them like moving them around all the time, and I'm like, I don't have to deal with that.
I think it's your friend Rohan Bergen. Can you teach me how to loop a DVD in your? Oh.
Yeah, this is a funny story. So my name on Steam when I'm playing Dead by Daylight is my last name, Beckwith. And so this guy and his friends Googled me and found out that I was on Power Rangers during the show, during the match that we were playing. And him and his two other friends that I was playing with had named their characters after the three main characters from Grand Theft Auto. So we had already I'd already gone into this match treating it like it was going to be a bit of a meme match, just doing silly things the whole time. But him and his mates were absolutely hilarious to play with. So when I play Dead by Daylight now, yeah. But I can't teach you how to loop. I'm no good at that yet. I'm rusty. It's been a while.
Who was your favorite GTA character? For GTA 5, I mean.
Me, because I played mostly the multiplayer. I did like a little bit of the story, but I didn't. this is probably gonna ruffle some feathers. I didn't really like get into it that much.
Mm.
I'm not huge on single player story-based games, but I loved the multiplayer when it came out, so I played a lot of that. So my favorite character in GTA is myself.
Right on. Rachel Jackson. Cool interview, Nick. Aw.
That is my mother.
Aw.
Hi, Mum. Love you.
You put in a spot.
Can you do your evil Aiden? Which one is that though?
Your
Your
Robo Knight voice.
The Robo. See, that was obviously a lot of special effects, but trying to remember exactly what I said in that moment. That I am no one's brother, and then you will never defeat me, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But literally, it was actually a little fun moment from that particular scene. I actually made I did two different versions of that, where it was, I am no one's brother. You will never defeat me. So like I kind of like had like this kind of like a tick, like I was like starting to malfunction because I was like, you know, exposed. So it was very much I was really hoping that they would use that one because I felt like it was kind of cool to have it like go full more Robo, but they decided to use the special effects instead, which is fine as well. But I thought it would have been cool to like have myself. Yeah, there it is.
Look at that. He's a male bot. A male fembot.
No shit, Sherlock.
That was a fun fight too. That was probably my one of my favorite days on set.
I gotta love how the Ninja Steel Rangers, like, they don't know really what's going on. They just come right in and like,
Yeah.
they just instantly pull out their blasters and
Yeah, it
start
is. Oh my god.
Yeah, no wait, it's a setup. I'm a good guy. He's the bad guy. I blow up at that stage, you know. So who knows?
All right, guys.
It was like Scary Movie 3.
Oh my god. We'll do one more question. If your robot was not destroyed, what do you think that Robo Aiden would be doing right now, and what's he going up to?
Oh, that's a good question. If he wasn't destroyed, would you be saying if he wasn't a bad guy in the first place? Because if he wasn't destroyed, he'd probably still be trying to take the Ninja Steel, because that's what he's programmed to do.
Or they could. Oh, sorry.
If he was put back together and maybe like, you know, reconfigured to be a bit more normal, a little bit more chaotic neutral, I don't know, maybe he would have become like Mick's sort of like side like assistant or like mechanic alongside him. Because let's be real, Redbot wasn't super useful. He was more like a cat than he was more like a pet than a useful character, I think. So I think I could have taken Redbot's place, and we could have had, you know, like a whole sort of Victor and Morty. Monty, sorry, yeah. I always think Rick and Morty when those two characters, so it throws me off. But yeah, Victor and Monty. We could have had like a Victor and Monty kind of, you know, relationship where I, you know, dunk him in a big bucket of water. He malfunctions. You have to fix him, kind of thing.
Okay, two things very quick about that. Maybe have Redbot go off and be like, have the Red Ranger Zord get destroyed, and then Redbot goes up and grows and replaces it, basically. And what's also funny about that is there is a character in Dino Fury who is an android, and like she basically does they do a lot of wacky antics where, because she's a robot, you know, like she gets water thrown on her and short circuits, and one time she's programmed and turns into a cat or starts acting like one. So
oh my god.
Well, she's ice cream.
It's 2021. Surely they've created a robot that's resistant to water by now. Like, come on. And also, that's a good point. Redbot was just a Zord in the normal one, right? He was just the big guy, and then they made him a small character as well in the American one.
Yep.
Basically.
So maybe he could have just gone back to, you know, stay in his lane, No. Slot into the team.
Our good friend Jen says hello. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Genesis.
So by the way, guys, we did see his poster for the robot film he did at my school. Here it is. Robo Club.
It's me.
You can
It's
see
me.
and you can see in the lower right side. That's my school logo. See, son? So shout outs to my old alumni. Go Matadors. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so is there any comments? Oh,
MS Dhoni's a legend.
MSD's a legend.
He is. He is a legend.
Alright, so that's pretty much it. Alright, guys, so that's pretty much it. So again, Nick, thank you so much for being our special guest. Hope you had so much fun. We had.
No worries. It was a pleasure.
Before we end this interview, where can you find you on social media?
My social media, man, this is one of those things where all different. On Twitter, it's at Nico Beckwith, so Niko, then my last name Beckwith. Instagram is at Nick Beckwith, normal spelling. Twitch, it is Nick_Beckwith, and Facebook is Nick Beckwith Official.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Twitter? I mean, Twitter's stream. I mean, Twitch.
Twitch is Nick_Beckwith.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kent, where can I find you?
Instagram Brown_K as well as QR Rangerbook. Where can we find you, Dagger Boy?
Instagram DancerBoy247, and please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at the Morphin Network. Alright, guys, thank you so much for taking your Sunday here and Monday there in Australia or wherever in the world. Again, guys, thank you so much. Nick, thank you.
You're most welcome.
Mr.
Thanks, guys.
Male fembot, this handsome man over here. Alright, guys. Have a nice weekend. Bye, guys.